Drop in, see from your true place. Drop the world, drop the mind. Drop circumstances, and then go ahead and drop yourself. And see what remains. See what passes the test of realness when you drop it. And it doesn't have attention on it. What still remains? What is the stillness beyond it all? See from your true place. And let your heart be felt. Feel the strength in your heart. The untaintable, impenetrable force of love that transcends all, that can carry you through this and any other coming circumstances, that has been through it all, that has been the guiding North Star in what can be a chaotic, stormy mind, the impenetrable clarity beyond it all. The who, the what, the is. Experiencing its nature, your nature, which is love, which embraces all, which doesn't judge. It doesn't need to because it understands. And it forgives radically. Have you ever been in a circumstance where you didn't understand the why, and yet you knew that there was still sense in it, that there was still orchestration, that God was still on the throne? This kind of trust, this kind of faith, where clarity comes from knowing, and your seeing is seeing that, but maybe you can't see beyond the mist. But still, in a fog, especially in a fog, when you can't see, you can rest in this deep knowing, this deep well pool of the absolute that's always elegantly and effortlessly held it all for you. And we can let go of control. And we can even let go of the need to understand, although we do, because we know what truth is. But we can understand that God's got this. There's no question that God's got this. So when you can't see the outcome, when you don't know the end from the beginning, then, and especially then, you can still know where to see from, where to be from. You can still know who you are, and maybe even stronger so, know who you are in the midst of the chaos. We love to be the eye of the storm. We love the hurricane around us. Because when there's intense motion, you know the stillness is you. Among a chaotic mind, it's very easy to know you're not your thoughts. People see a chaotic mind as a problem to getting them to see from their true place, when really a chaotic mind is going to be a better tool than a still mind. A still mind can be deceiving. A chaotic mind, there's no question that this is not you. So who is the witnessing, compassionate observer? Who are you? It's okay to just drop it all. And it's okay to love arise in your perspective. Of course, the love always is, but let it drench your perspective. When you see from your true place, the former realities of believability seem to just fill with love and dissolve or become or transform or are illuminated because you're seeing from truth. I wanted to go here in this moment regarding trust beyond the situation. Because I know from experience that you'll have it both ways. There will be total seeing and there will be no seeing. And yet you are the one who sees it all. So let both the seeing and the not seeing acknowledge what is. And what can you trust? Can you trust this beloved heart of yours that's always called you home? Can you trust the self to have always been seeing through your eyes, to be the one that's carried you all along? And when you do interface, when you do come out as the I thought, when you do differentiate yourself from the entirety, what for? And I'll tell you what it comes down to. When you do say I am, when you are in I am, it's only to love God. I will differentiate myself just to see your beauty, Lord. I will differentiate myself. And then I will yearn so deeply for you that I will merge back into you. That beloved of my heart, the one who I disappear into. Every iota of love that's ever come has come through the beloved, through others, to you. Because we are that for one another. We let the light of God shine through our eyes. We illuminate the light in another's eyes just by seeing and longing and knowing and understanding. It's that wink from the self to the self. It's that wink from the beloved. It's that gaze, that honey-drunk love that swells our heart and pulls us out to see that promise exists, to see that possibility exists. And the next time you find yourself caught between the mist, know the beloved God, our Father, our heart, our friend, our everything, sees it. He sees it, and he sees you, and he sees your heart intimately because you were made in his. And you can trust that. You can rest in that. There's this sort of paradox that comes with the idea of self-realized beings. But the fact is they're devotional, the most devotional, because God is the realest to them. Why did Jesus pray? He prayed to the Father. Why would God pray? Because it's to the beloved of his heart. That if he will come as the I am, he will only do it to worship God. And if we're going to differentiate ourselves in any way from the all, it's going to be only to love the all. It's going to be only to see, because we're so honey drunk love. Drunk on love and what God is. He's crazy about you, you know. Absolutely, you have God's heart wrapped around your finger. And what your heart would convict the movement of God's heart for is immeasurable. With the faith of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. It's just by saying, God, will you do this for me? And knowing the irresistible nature of God's will and the irresistible nature of God's goodness. When Jesus was turning water into wine at the wedding feast, and it was his first miracle, his mom said to him, "We're out of wine," implying that Jesus should do a miracle. And he said, "But it's not my time." And because Jesus loved his mom so much, he just did it. Out of love, he was forced in some way. His hand was forced because the love was so real. And there's so many levels of love in that story. And then Mary tells the workers at the wedding, do whatever he says. And what kind of love trusts so deeply to say, do whatever he says? Do you love God that much that whatever he says, you're just going to do? And know that if you do it, a miracle will happen? Do you love God like that? Do whatever he says. Because she asked for a miracle. And then to walk it out, she said, do whatever he says. And I'm not like a theologian. I don't know that much about the Bible. But I do know Jesus. I do know Jesus. And I know that you can trust him to hold the stars. I know you can trust his timing, and I definitely know you can trust his nature. And all goodness that you see is his. All righteousness, all love. We love because he loved us first. And if we are going to differentiate ourselves from the all, we do it as the I am. And we do it only so that we can look back and know God as a father, know him as a friend, a confidant, a beloved. But it's okay to sit in him, to lose yourself in this, to love him from nothingness, because you don't want to put a veil on your seeing. You don't want to do that. The world is asking us to let our minds run this reality into a wall. That we wouldn't trust God's goodness in this scenario. That we might lose hope or lose faith or lose conviction or lose ourselves. But we can't, and we won't. Because we were born of him, and to him we will return. And all goodness belongs to the Lord. If you can't see today what tomorrow will bring, and you can't see much of anything, you can be the eye of the storm. You can be the stillness. You can be the one that speaks to the storm. From the place and the trusted place that the beloved has you, that you're held and had, and you never had anything to fear. You can rest in this, and you can drop the mind, and you can let love wash the religion off of you. And you can run to the feet of God, and He will give you rest. And you can merge into Him, and you don't have to differentiate yourself. You can see all as Him. You can see yourself as Him. The beloved will make a way for you, because we're out of wine. So do what He says.